Hello, the Math Dog here. So in this video, I'm going to go over some basic mixed operations using integers where I'm using multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So before doing this video, you should have some basic knowledge of adding, subtracting positive, negative integers and multiplying and dividing positive, negative integers. And here I'm going to try, and this is just extra practice in mixing it up because students often get confused between the rules for addition, subtraction, and multiplication, division when dealing with positive and negative numbers. So I hope this will be helpful. So let's get started. Oh, and by the way, the integers are simply your positive and negative whole numbers. So your whole numbers are like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And the negative whole numbers would be like -1, -2, -3, -4. That's all the integers are, and these are the type of numbers that we'll be using in this video. So some basic rules for working with addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. These are some of the what we call the order of operations. But we're not going to go into the complete set of order of operations in this video. We're only going to look at what to do when you have multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, and we will also look at parentheses. So when in the same problem, multiplication, division are calculated before addition and subtraction are, unless there are a set of parentheses. So multiplication, division, multiplication and division take priority. They are done first before addition and subtraction unless you have parentheses. So let's look at some sample problems here. So a lot of students initially will take 3 minus 4 first of this problem, then do the multiplication, but multiplication and division take priority, so we're supposed to do this first. So we have 4 times 5, so we have 3 minus 20, and that is the same as 3 plus -20. And so we have a negative and a positive, so we're going to take the difference of the positive values of both numbers. 20 minus 3 is 17, but I have more negatives than positives, so my final answer is -17. Next question. Again, a lot of students want to do that 2 plus 6 first, but multiplication takes priority. That dot, by the way, means multiplication. Instead of using a times x looking symbol. This also means multiplication, like 3 times 4. So this is 8 times 2 plus 6. We do the 8 times 2 first. That's 16 plus 6 makes 22. Next, we have 14 plus 8 divided by 2. We do not do the 14 plus 8 first. We do the division. Division and multiplication take priority over addition and subtraction. So this is 8 divided by 2. So we have 14 plus 4, which is 18. Now, the next question, we actually do the division first. I have parentheses here. Actually, we don't need them. But this is going to be -16 divided by 4, which is -4, plus 2. So 4 minus 2 is, these are opposite signs, so I subtract. So this is 4 minus 2, which is 2, but I have more negatives, so it is -2. And finally, in this problem, I have multiplication right here, I have subtraction here, but because I have parentheses, that actually takes priority now. Unlike in this problem, the multiplication took priority, but here, since I put parentheses, 3 minus 4 takes priority, and that's going to be -1, because that's the same as 3 plus -4. 4 minus 3 is 1, you have more negatives. So that's -1 times 5, which is -5. So then, number 2 here, when in the same problem, work multiplication division from left to right unless there are parentheses. So we work from left to right. That is how the convention is in mathematics. So in the first problem here, I have 6 divided by 3 times 8. So I do the division first. 6 divided by 3 is 2 times 8 makes 16. In the next question, I have negative 4 times 10 divided by 5. I have parentheses here. I didn't actually need them there, but this is going to be negative 40 divided by 5. Negative divided by negative is a positive, so that is 8. That's actually going to be negative 8 because it's a negative divided by positive. In this question, because I have parentheses here, this takes priority, so I do this first. So this is negative 4. I have a dot there. You don't usually show the dot, but you can put one in. That means multiplication. So here I'm going to take the 10 divided by 5 first, which is 2. And I have negative 4 times 2, which is negative 8. And then here, a slash, that means fraction bar. So like 10, this means 10 divided by 2. It's another way of writing this. So negative 8 divided by 4, again we work left to right here. We do the division first. Negative 8 divided by negative 4 is negative 2 times negative 15. And you could do this you want. You can put it in parentheses. Well, negative times negative is a positive, so that is 30. Positive 30. And the last question, I'm going to do it down here. Addition, I don't do that first. This is a multiplication. So I work left to right here. This is the first thing I do. I take 15 divided by 5 is 3 times 6 is 18. So I have 4 plus 18. I'm replacing this with 18 minus 3 plus 11. So I'm going to use clumping here. So I have, clumping is when I put all the positives together and then all the negatives and take the difference. So 4 plus 18 is 22 plus 11 is 33. So I have 33 positives and 3 negatives. That's just going to be positive 30. So summarizing, we do parentheses first, and then we do multiplication division from left to right. Okay, stop the video now. Do these problems that are below here, then restart the video to check your answers, and copy the problems onto a sheet of paper and work them out by hand. Okay, so now let's check your answers. So in this first problem, I'm going to do the, again, remember, multiplication, division, left to right, addition, subtraction, left to right. So then parentheses take priority. So I'm going to do this first. That double negative, let's clean that up. That's a plus. Let's change that minus 7 to plus negative 7. Means the same thing. So I have negative 3 parentheses. That means negative 3 times what's in the parentheses. Well, in the parentheses there, that's 14. So I have negative 3 times 14 plus, now I don't do this yet. I do this first. 16 divided by negative 4 because I do division multiplication before addition and subtraction. So 16 divided by negative 4 is negative 4. Negative 4 times 5 is negative 20 plus negative 7. I'm going to continue. Well, 3 times 14 is 42, and that's negative 42. So I have negative 42 plus negative 20 plus negative 7. So that is negative 62 plus negative 7 is negative 69, which is my final answer. And I just added these all together because when you have all negatives added together, you get more negatives. Okay, that should be a negative 3 here. So this next question, I'm going to do the parentheses first, but in the parentheses, I have to prioritize things. So first thing I'm going to do in the parentheses is this, because that's a multiplication. So I have 7 times negative 3. So I'm going to just do one step at a time here. I have negative 4 times negative 8. Let's change that minus 4 to plus negative 4. And then this is now 7 times negative 3 is negative 21. So that's minus 21 or plus negative 21. So now I do the parentheses, continuing in the parentheses. That's negative 8 plus negative 4 is negative 12. Negative 12 and negative 21 is negative 33. So I end up with negative 4. I could put a multiplication sign there times negative 33. Well, 33 times 4 is 132. So this is a negative times a negative is positive, so my final answer is positive 132. Okay, last problem on this page. So I have a parentheses here. Let's change the -2 to plus -2. Let's change -3 to plus -3. So now I'm going to do the parentheses first. That's going to be negative of 15. Notice I replace this with this. Now I have a division here. Negative 80 divided by 4 is negative 20. So replace this with this. I replaced this with this. Plus -2 plus -3. So now everything here, and this is -15, I could write that as plus -15. Everything is negative here, so I just add them all together. When I have all negatives and I'm adding, I just get more negatives. So I have 22 and 18. That's 22, that's 18, they're negative. That's 40, so my final answer is going to be negative 40. Okay, stop the video again. Copy these problems on a sheet of paper, do these problems, and restart the video to check your answers after you've done your work. Okay, number 1. So I'm going to change this to 3 minus 5, change that to plus -5. And I could change this if I want to like that. Well, -7 times 2, that is -14. So I have 3 plus -5. I do the plus 2, and this is plus -14. I do the multiplication first. Now I'm going to clump. I have 3 and 2 for positives, that's 5. I have 5 and 14, which is -19 for negatives. So 19 minus 5, these are opposite signs, subtract. 19 minus 5 is 14. I have more negatives, so it's -14 is my final answer. Number 2, I do the parentheses first. So this is the same as -4 plus -6. So -4, -6 is -10. -10 plus 2, opposite signs. 10 minus 2 is 8. I have more negatives because -10 is further from 0 than 2, so that's -8. I have divided by, do the parentheses there, -9 plus 1, 9 minus 1, these are opposite signs, is 8. More negatives than positives, so that's -8. Then I have here plus -6 times 2 divided by 4. Well, that's -12 divided by 4. 12 divided by 4 is 3. -12 divided by 4 is -3. So I have -3 or plus -3. So now my next step, division takes priority over addition. -8 divided by -8. Anything divided by itself is 1. And a negative divided by negative is a positive. So this is 1 plus -3, which is -2. Oops, then the next question, I'm going to change that -4 to plus -4, the -6 to plus -6. And the first thing I'm going to do here is I have a bunch of multiplications. I work from left to right. So I have notice I have a total of 2 negatives. Well, when you have an even number of negatives multiplied together, you're always going to get a positive. So it's often easier to determine the sign of the multiplication problem before you do anything else. So I know this has got to be positive. Now I can ignore the signs. Well, 2 times 8 is 16. 16 times 10 is 160. Times 2 is 320. So this is going to be plus 320. So I have -6 plus -4 plus 320 plus -6. So now I'm going to take -6, -4, -6. Well, all negatives, just add them together. That's -10 plus -6 is -16. So I have -16 plus 320. Okay, take the difference because of opposite signs. Take the positive value of both numbers, subtract. Okay, so I'm going to have to borrow a 1 there. Bring that over. So it's 304, and I have more positives than negatives, so my answer is going to be positive 304. So that concludes this video. If you found this video informative and you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, The Math Dog. You may share the content of this video with others. Thank you and have a good day.